Greetings, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Awake Mind Reports. I'm your host, Robert. Today we are embarking on a particularly fascinating expedition, a journey that threads the needle between the ceaseless ticking of the biological clock and the undying human endeavor to live, not just longer, but fuller lives. The topic of longevity and the quality of life, evergreen yet always flowering anew with each scientific discovery, each philosophical insight. We'll delve into stress, the misunderstood duality of its essence, and how it plays a formidable role in shaping not just the number of our days, but the content of those days. We'll discuss the tangible actions you can take today that could become the notes in your life's unfolding symphony, a harmonious melody of health, vitality, and wisdom. So grab your mental compasses and prepare for a captivating expedition through the landscapes of human potential. If you're joining us for the first time, be sure to subscribe to ensure you don't miss future revelations. And if you find yourself enlightened or even merely intrigued, do hit that like button. Your engagement is the light that guides us through the complex maze of knowledge we aim to explore. Now let's begin our exploration, shall we? In the theater of the human experience, aging takes center stage. Society gazes upon the elders and perceives frailty, succumbing to the notion that longevity equates to years marked by decline. The masses consult life expectancy charts, as if gazing into crystal balls, only to say, "Thus far shall I go and no further." But what if the very frame in which we view aging is but a flawed mosaic? Imagine peeling back the layers of expectation, the dogmas that bind your vision to finite numbers and outcomes. What if at 90 your vitality mirrored that of your 30s? You wouldn't just play the game of life, you'd change its rules. Our limits stem from conditioned beliefs, mere whispers from society that nudge us toward accepting that decay is as inescapable as the setting sun. The question of disease looms large. Medical jargon has divided ailments into bite-sized categories: arthritis, dementia, high blood pressure. Yet focus your lens, and you discern that these are not isolated islands, but archipelagos linked by a broader ocean, an ocean of aging. If we shift our gaze to the root, we escape the labyrinthine maze of fragmented medical thinking. Let's not treat the branches while the roots remain starved. What drives this machine of aging which churns and whittles away at the essence of human life? Enter David Sinclair, an architect of ideas who seeks the foundational bricks. According to Sinclair, it's not telomere shortening, DNA damage, or mitochondrial dysfunction that serve as puppet masters. These are mere marionettes in a grander spectacle. The conductor of this intricate symphony is none other than the loss of information. Genetic and epigenetic, the two faces of information, each carrying the burden of years in different measures. While the digital code of DNA stands firm, a stable fortress, it's the epigenetic landscape, the shifting sand, that bears the brunt of time. DNA serves as a librarian of potential. Epigenetics navigates through the aisles and decides which books to read. Oh, how critical this distinction is. Just as a blueprint sits idle till a builder brings it to life, so too does DNA await the direction of its epigenetic counterpart. Life's dinner menu has endless dishes. You don't dine on a single course for eternity. Today's selection affects tomorrow's experience. The past is not prologue, it's merely context. So we revisit the initial question: how old do you wish to be? It's not a question inscribed in stone but written in water, ever-changing, ever-flowing. Age is not the cage. Your perception is. You, yes, you, hold the key. Let us momentarily dwell on an intriguing parallel, one that mirrors human understanding yet has been drawn from the enigmatic universe we inhabit. Have you ever pondered the stars above and contemplated their lifespan? Stars, like humans, possess a phase of exuberant youth, a steady middle age, and eventually an inevitable demise. Yet some celestial bodies defy the norm. They become white dwarfs, living on borrowed time. The most intriguing part? These stars resist the gravitational pull toward decay. They linger in a state of stability, neither expanding into giants nor collapsing into black holes. Would it be too audacious to draw a line between these celestial exceptions and the future humans may hold? Can we, like these stars, resist the conventional pull towards aging? Here, the scientific realm intersects with philosophy. Our perceptions, the constructs that mold our reality, have been the architects of an illusion. We're led to believe that age dictates the quality of life, yet it is merely a chronological account of our journey. Could it be that our notion of age is but a cultural artifact, much like the ticking hands of a clock, leading us toward a destiny that we've involuntarily subscribed to? Now consider epigenetics, that mysterious switchboard operator directing the calls in our cellular world. If DNA is a pianist who knows only 4 notes but plays them with impeccable precision, then epigenetics is the composer, orchestrating a composition that is breathtakingly complex yet exquisitely harmonious. Think about jazz improvisation. Within the boundaries of scale and rhythm, a musician explores an infinite landscape of sound. There's a parallel here. Within the boundaries of our genetic code, epigenetics permits us a spectrum of expression, a range of possibilities that defy our conventional understanding of inevitability. Thus, we arrive at an intersection, a choice. One road meanders along the lines of statistical life expectancy, decorated with billboards of age-related diseases and signposts pointing toward a fate sealed by numbers. The other, an open highway where your vehicle is driven by knowledge, fueled by technological advancements, and steered by your hand alone. It's time to reroute our internal GPS, to align it with a destination that isn't tethered to the binds of chronological expectations. You're not destined to become a sum of your ailments or a statistical probability. You are an ever-changing, ever-evolving tapestry of life experiences, choices, and untapped potential. In this intellectual soiree, let's make a pact. Let's agree to shift the paradigm, to question the assumptions we've inherited like hand-me-down clothing. Let's dare to reframe the narrative, not just for ourselves, but for the generations to come. Yet we must pause and acknowledge that the journey is ongoing. We have uncovered questions and pried open doors to new dimensions. But this conversation, this magnificent dialogue with the self and with society, is far from over. It's a grand unfolding, an epic still in its first act. Consider the double helix, that ancient manuscript of life penned in the ink of nucleotides. Wrapped tightly around proteins, it waits, like a precious scroll in a vault. In youth, the mechanisms are precise. Scrolls unfurl at the command of chemical messengers. Histones relax their grip and the text is read, transcribed into actions as proteins manifest. Every cell knows its role, its script perfectly curated, but age complicates the script. Imagine a library aging without a curator. Books misplace themselves, scrolls deteriorate. The proteins our librarians find themselves perplexed. Is this volume meant for the liver or the brain? Confusion breeds disorder. Disorder breeds decline. And so the library of the body echoes with the dissonance of misinformation. Yet here's where the plot thickens. 3 levels of intervention are at our disposal. First, the transcription factors, akin to hastily scribbled notes in the margins of a book. They may open the scroll for a moment, but do little for its long-term preservation. Second, behold the Sirtuins, the archivists of this library. Silent information regulators by name, their work lasts longer. They can seal a scroll for an era or open it for a millennium. And third, the most revolutionary, DNA methylation. Picture a meticulous librarian, now older, placing markers on the scrolls. With age, these markers accumulate like rust, locking away the wisdom within. But enzymes, those quiet revolutionaries, have learned to erase these marks, resetting the clock, turning back time. Have we not then stumbled upon a profound paradox? Our cells, each an anthology of life's possibilities, encapsulate both our aging and the potential for rejuvenation. Remember stem cells, nature's blank canvases? A Nobel laureate named Yamanaka discovered the artistic secret to rewind their age, to bring them back to a state of raw potential. So question the inevitable flow of time. Ponder if aging is merely a direction rather than destiny. For science whispers secrets that shatter our understanding. We stand on the precipice, not of decline, but of endless renewal. Within our lifetime, one might turn back the years as easily as one rewinds a tape. Is it not time, then, to reconsider what age truly means? For the scrolls of our life might contain not just a story that ends, but cycles of epilogues and prologues as we learn to read them anew. In the vast ocean of scientific pursuit, researchers have discovered islands of possibility. These islands are like footnotes in our biological manuscript, each offering its own flavor of eternity. Among these footnotes is a term that resounds with a sense of revolution: the Horvath clock. A mere sequence of DNA methylation patterns, yet it holds the potential to redefine aging. You see, methylation is not merely an irreversible tarnish. It can be manipulated, edited, even reversed. The enzymes responsible act like restorers, meticulously scraping off the ages-old grime to reveal the original masterpiece underneath. And yet, as we ponder on the elegance of biological systems, we find traces of symmetry in the concept of stem cells. At the moment of conception, we are nothing but a tapestry of possibility. Gradually, each thread finds its purpose, differentiating into tissues, organs, complex systems, but the original blueprint never truly disappears. Yamanaka's findings shattered the unidirectionality of this process, taking the tapestry and reverting it back to a single, potential-laden thread. Imagine if the inevitable obsolescence of the human condition were an illusion, an ephemeral chapter in a book that rewrites itself. Is death then just a narrative we've accepted because we failed to read the footnotes, to understand the subtext written in the genes, the proteins, the complex dances they perform? In fact, consider the implications beyond mere longevity. If age can be reversed, what stands in the way of other perceived limitations? In an age where data is termed as the new oil, consider our biological data as an eternal spring. Once we unlock the full spectrum of its interpretations, once we learn to read between the lines, to question the full stops and to place new commas, what then? A new narrative awaits not just of humans living longer, but of humans living with greater profundity, vitality, and wisdom. The literary world teems with fictions that narrate the circularity of time, from Proust's exploration of involuntary memory to the imagined worlds where the old become young. Yet these stories may not linger in the realm of fantasy for much longer. What we once narrated, we now annotate with scientific inquiry, turning fiction into a possibility. If literature is an exploration of the human condition, then science is its logical extension, a bridge from the philosophical to the practical. Take, for instance, the perennial struggle between stress and tranquility. One might assert that stress, a maelstrom of discomfort, is an adversary to human well-being. Yet there exists an intriguing nuance: good stress and bad stress, eustress and distress. Eustress, the kind of stress sculpted by the chisel of evolution to forge resilience. This short-term intense stress awakens dormant survival genes, floods the system with growth hormone, and imparts an acute focus on adaptation. Eustress is the pulse of life coursing through humanity since the dawn of time. It's a teacher instructing the body, saying, get better, refine, adapt. Contrast this with the persistent drone of distress, a chronic low-grade tension that grinds away at the vitality of existence. Distress whispers incessantly, a sinister narrative that sabotages more than it sustains, casting a gray pall over the vibrant colors of life. In the cacophony of modern living, one finds this distress commonplace. But make no mistake, its ordinariness belies its toxicity. Such distinctions aren't mere intellectual musings, they're gateways to longevity, echoed by groundbreaking research. The paradigms of high-intensity interval training and intermittent fasting serve as potent modern-day elixirs, challenging the body just enough to invoke the protective mechanisms of survival. But what fuels these life-extending survival genes, these sirtuins? Enter NAD, or nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, a compound as ancient as life itself, yet dwindling as we age. The cruel irony: our internal fountains of youth drying up just when we yearn for them the most. Nonetheless, hope glimmers on the horizon. This precious molecule can be resuscitated through strategic means: high-intensity interval training and intermittent fasting, resveratrol supplements, and the novel compound NMN, to name a few. For the individual, the implications are profound. The reins of longevity are not solely in the hands of fate or genetic predisposition, but graspable through informed choice. As for the grander narrative of age reversal, well, one could argue that for every year one lives healthily, the nexus of scientific advancement moves closer to the elusive elixir of eternal youth. And why wouldn't it? Time itself seems to be in a state of acceleration, with research gathering momentum like a snowball cascading down the mountain of collective wisdom. So let us ponder this. If each lived year brings science closer to the Arcadia of agelessness, then perhaps the greatest investment one can make is in the quality of those years. Not merely in extending life, but enriching it, imbuing each moment with the vitality, wisdom, and health that makes existence not just longer, but immeasurably better. One might liken this existence to a symphony, a collection of moments, each a distinct note, culminating in a masterful composition. Yet even the most beautiful symphonies can turn discordant if not properly orchestrated. This brings us back to lifestyle choices, to the nuanced approach to stress, and yes, even to our consumption habits. Eating around the clock, 3 meals and perpetual snacking, what is this if not a relentless bombardment on the system? The body scarcely gets a breather to repair and recycle, to indulge in that intricate biological process known as autophagy. Autophagy, nature's efficient recycling service, a testament to life's capacity for renewal. And so the doctrine of intermittent fasting gains merit, not as a trendy lifestyle choice, but as a well-informed stratagem. It's a command to the body to pause, to dig deep into its resources and to emerge rejuvenated. If one imagines life as a sprawling tapestry, then each instance of fasting, each moment of eustress, adds vibrant threads to the weave. The discussion now inevitably shifts towards fuel, those indispensable molecules that keep the gears of life turning smoothly. Let's return to NAD and its cousin NMN. Their decline with age is not a sentence but a challenge, a puzzle that invites resolution. These molecules are no arcane secret. They're vibrant elements of an unfolding narrative, demanding attention and study. And how fortuitous that we can boost these elemental keystones of life through rigorous yet satisfying activities, through running till we're out of breath but bursting with life, through fasting that instills a hunger for existence itself. As the sands of time continue to slip through the hourglass of existence, the field of anti-aging research likewise advances, uncovering secrets, lifting veils, offering the tantalizing possibility of more tomorrows and better todays. And make no mistake, for each stride science takes toward untangling the mystery of aging, the individual gains a greater chance at a longer, richer, more fulfilling life. This accelerating pace of discovery is not merely a trend, it's a promise. A pledge that the investment you make in living a quality life today will pay off not just in extended years, but in an enriched tapestry of experiences, wisdom, and relationships. Thus, you see, you wield more influence over your life's composition than you might have ever presumed. It's a composition only you can orchestrate, each note a conscious choice, each chord a deliberate action. So why not conduct your life in a manner that invites not just longevity, but a richness of moments that makes the inevitable passage of time a journey worth every step? Time waits for none, true, but perhaps we can persuade it to stroll alongside us a little more generously. And in that extended companionship, find a tapestry of life that's not just longer, but infinitely more meaningful. So there we have it, my friends. A labyrinthine journey through the dense forests of stress and the sunlit pathways of longevity. These corridors of wisdom aren't just academic endeavors. They're actionable insights that you can weave into the narrative of your own life. Our objective here isn't merely to add years to your life, but life to your years. And as I often say, wisdom is a melody, a harmonious alignment of choices that orchestrates a life worth living. Now, if you found today's discussion enlightening, I'd be most honored if you could hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your engagement is far more than mere statistics. It's the lifeblood that keeps this intellectual odyssey going. Every click, every share, every comment fuels our commitment to elevate these discussions, to turn these complex theories into harmonies of everyday wisdom. So until we meet again, remember to let your actions speak the grand tale of a life well lived. For that, my friends, is the greatest symphony of all. I'm Robert, and this has been another insightful episode of the Awake Mind Reports. Thank you for making this journey with me, and as always, keep that mind awake. Goodbye for now.